Hello guys, it is that panda guy, and today we're going to do a video, and the video was actually requested from my Discord server, so do feel free to join that if you want to interact or have any content requests to make yourselves. So let's read this out. Hello, I was recently joining the game and I was wondering what the most important things to go after a new server is made. What are the best things to invest in, such as alliance resources and what to capture like bridges or checkpoints and all that kind of stuff, because when you're new you start to put towers down everywhere without exactly knowing if they're going to be a waste or strategically putting them to gain resources or get some important checkpoints on what to and what to invest on first in alliance tech and all that kind of stuff. You just start upgrading because you think it's good, but maybe it's a waste. I will appreciate it a lot. So I'll try to go down the line and answer these, such as mentioning like checkpoints, and what like overall things are best to capture. And honestly, I'm gonna be fair, I'm not the most experienced in this regard, but I'll give my 2 cents. And I think what you would do would maybe be dropping a fort near like a checkpoint as well as the closest level 1, because I think like trying to expand off that, and I'll give like I'll use an zone as an example over here. Let's say you start in the zone, right? I think maybe trying to like start off somewhere near like a checkpoint so you have like that early advantage, maybe dropping a fort in this area or even dropping a fort over here and then just starting to kind of attach and build off of these, and even being able to be close to a level 2. I think that's pretty good. But yeah, I think maybe dropping a fort near the closest checkpoint or even the level 1 checkpoint, since crossing into these zones are you know gonna open up first, like level 1s. Well, I don't know, guys. I just wanted to say that real quick, so you can kind of. I think like everything counts. Like even where you're dropping your fort or building off of, you want to make sure that you're starting in the most advantageous spot possible, and even like dropping in a zone that doesn't have like very strong alliances or enemies kind of starting up there. And I mean that's gonna be kind of hard because everyone's gonna be trying to do the same thing in that regard. So that being said, I think you just try to just drop that fort, like I said, and you just try to start attaching to as many villages as possible. And I mean, I feel like this is a simple get go strategy, but obviously it's gonna work. And I think you need to make sure you preserve as many towers as possible, because especially early game, you're going to be running on fumes by like burning through alliance tokens or alliance resources. And that being said, I know that it might be tempting to do, like for example, we would build out like out of our way to maybe, let's say, get a resource node. Let's say let me find one real quick. Let's say there's like a little resource node thing over here that we want, like this wood one, right? We might build out of our way to grab this little wood thing for 2,000 extra resources per hour, and then that gives you a kind of it gives you kind of earnings over time, right? And they just start building up resources as well as going towards your actual alliance warehouse. And I think it's right here, but they'll start building up in your alliance warehouse over time. And you see this, we get 100,000 resources per hour just in our food alone. And obviously this isn't like the resources that we receive, like we still get a percent of that, but 100,000 go into our warehouse. That being said, I don't think it's like very important to maybe be building around towers like that to connect specifically for those things, but I do think that it is kind of important, and I think you will eventually need to do that. I think it's also good to make sure that you are encouraging your members to, let's say, gather in alliance territory, because if you guys don't know, gathering in alliance territory, you get a percent of the resources that you gather. And I'll kind of actually show it here and see if I have anything gathered. Okay, so this is an alliance territory. I gathered 1.2 million wood. I got 12,000 of that put into my alliance warehouse, right? And that was for all my marches. Each one of these give me 12,000 towards my the alliance's warehouse, and that's great for if we need a build and we need these resources. So do try to encourage everybody to be building gathering actively in the alliance territory. Also, it won't hurt to maybe build around, let's say, a level 2 village or something if you're like only just getting in there, or building around level 3, or building around the freaking metro, for example, because obviously you want a place to gather around, you want a place to get your members to coordinate around, and also just the higher the village or the freaking town, the higher the nodes that are going to be around it. Because I don't know if I can show it right here, but this shows like a resource node kind of thing, and the color kind of determines, right? And you see right around these villages the color kind of is a higher level color. That's because the concentration of the resource nodes are always going to be better around them. So make sure your alliance is kind of gathering around these things if possible. That being said, I don't know. I think I went through a lot of the main points over there. I mean, I think another good thing that you could maybe do is maybe making a subsidiary alliance if you're strong or if you fill your numbers pretty fast. I think obviously early game, that's the best time to get all the members you can, and if you can fill them up, you can fill all your slots. I think it'll be good if you're still early game to maybe make a subsidiary alliance, or even not, just for people to put their alts in, or even making it like an academy. That not only is good for, I guess, building alts and just having somewhere for people to build those things, like I said, it's also good for maybe building a secondary power in your region that can back you up with, no complaints, because it's kind of hard to get allies that are 100% going to be by you for good, and you can't always be sure that's going to be the case. But yeah, just better for growth overall as well. But like I was saying, every tower I think really counts. I think you really have to be really smart with it. Don't be building willy-nilly. And I guess maybe I'll just go to Alliance Tech, since that's about it I can really think of. I think with Alliance Tech, it's really hard for me to always think about, but I think that territory is very important. I think development is very important. I think warfare is also important to an extent, but I honestly don't see myself investing in this early game unless I'm just in a very dire situation, and I think it's necessary, right? With that being said, we're going to talk a bit about why I have my opinions on these things. So I feel that territory technology could be the best because, like I mentioned, time is of the essence. And honestly, if I were to do it myself, I personally split between territory and development and doing the tech before I thought I'd need to do it. So like if I'm about to max out on towers, I would probably swap back over from doing maybe my development, and I would instantly do this watchtower research so I could make sure I didn't max out on my watchtowers. Same with maybe your warehouse. Let's say you're getting close to not maxing out your warehouse, because that's going to happen pretty often. But let's say you're close to actually needing more resources for every build or something like that, or even dropping like a fort, you might need more resources. Obviously make sure you're doing your warehouse storage. I think that early game and even late game, this territory research is very necessary, because you kind of cap out on towers a lot. If you're going to war a lot, you really want like solid construction, because that just makes your buildings burn way longer. It makes them way more durable. And even every cent counts. This makes the reduction on how much you're building for everything just that much better. And it's just important. I just find it important that you make sure you're doing these type of things. And this will just save you out on a lot of resources and alliance coins and just time. That being said, I also think development is important, because making sure your members are growing is another thing. Like, not only are you going to be able to more so combat your enemies and stuff, I think that it's just good to, be strong, obviously. Who doesn't want to grow good? I think that's also just appealing aspect of an alliance if you can grow well. But like I was saying, obviously if you can grow better, you're going to be doing better in fights, compared to, let's say, if I have this tech research maxed out here, and like this tech research, what if these are the reasons someone got tier 4 troops? Whereas, maybe doing your warfare, it is kind of tempting because the percents are really good, but I still think that maybe being able to develop your account to a further state might do you more good than relying on warfare research, and of course, like I said, I still think it's good if you're in a warring type situation, but this really helps with development of your accounts. And I don't know, I just find it important. Of course, territory still being the most important when you consider like developing your alliance, but you kind of have to balance out your alliance's growth as well as your members' growth, and making sure that you're able to actually combat any threat that's going to come your way. I feel like I just went off on some crazy tangent, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, because I wanted to do this video and I wanted to take this content request. So I do hope you guys enjoyed, and I appreciate you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That is it. Peace.